Are you ready, Vince? That piece, the tang, in Swedish, it's the same word as this. So this is a tong, and that part is also a tong. So it's very confusing to have a tong, and a tang. And also thinking about tongs. So yeah. So it's just straightened now. And then I grab it by the tong, the tang, I mean. Like so. And the next one. And afterwards, we stretch out the blades. We make sure we have the desired length and the desired taper on all both the blades. If they go over the desired length, that is okay. But make sure that we are over, but not under. Okay, mission accomplished. Tong straightened. And the bunka, I'll actually just force down the tip a little bit. Make sure not to get a fish mouth first. And then on the bread sword, I will just force it down pretty much, so it can stretch a bit instead. So we can use this one. This is much nicer. Okay. And then the bread sword. Oh, it's not hot enough. And now we have the bunka. We're going to forge that in the other hammer. And I have my templates readily available. So I'll just take this one and see. I'm almost there in length, like half centimeter. And I'll just do that on the small hammer. So I'm ready on the big hammer with this one now. Because it's very uneven, because the dies are very aggressive. So you get a super uneven finish. But that's why I always finish on that hammer. we'll see the length on this. Where's my measuring stick? Okay. So I have marks here, 5, 10, 15, 20 and so on. So this is 10, 25, so it's going to be around 28 when we're done. So that's good enough. And the bunker time. Now we're done on the big hammer. So we'll kill that one. We do some stretching here. You can see that the dies on this hammer are super cold and the steel is pretty hot. So it goes black straight away and it's so thin. So the dies just steal all the heat straight away. Okay, some bread sword time. When they're really long, I usually take 2 tongs like this. Not tongs, tongs. You always watch the taper so it doesn't get overforged in the middle or back here. You want like a nice taper here. And this is going to be much thinner here from the halfway point towards the tip. Okay, the bunker is ready. Yeah. So next we're gonna forge down the bevels on the bunka, and after that we're gonna planish it a bit to make it give it a better surface finish. And after that it's more or less done. We can stamp it as well. After we've done that, we have a satisfying distal taper. We forge a bevel on the bunka. We stretch out the bevel until we have the desired height. I mean, it's not complicated. It's like if I were to try and reinvent the wheel with every knife, it would be super slow. But now that I've done this, I mean, a bunka is like a rectangular piece of metal that gradually gets thinner and thinner. It's like not like rocket science. The only thing that is a little bit different, so to speak, is to have the correct thickness at different places. But as long as you like aim for that and use a template to get the shape instead of insisting on forging the shape, I mean, it doesn't take a lot of time, more or less. Okay. Now, when I'm forging this dart, I'm like hardly moving any material. I'm just planishing, straightening it a bit, and you know, just giving it some love and attention. That's all we need. And the bread sword is ready. Okay, so now you can see we have a gradual taper. It's much thicker here than it is here, and that's what we want. Some bread swords I like to make, if they're very long, I like to make them pretty stiff in the back because it gives them a bit more rigidity. But this is a pretty short one. It's like 28 centimeters, so it doesn't matter. It can be a little bit thinner. Okay, so bunka again. We'll just do some nice blanishing on this. Before we torch down the levels here as well. So it's a gradual step down and not very sharp corners. So you can see here you have these very distinct marks. It's not my favorite part, but it comes from the very aggressive drawing dies. It's been somewhat signature-ish for me to have them. And as I mentioned, I don't really like them, but they just as I showed you before, like saw in a step down for the tang. A new tongue for the tang. Then we just straighten it a little bit. Just flatten it so we have an even surface, and then start thinning it out. Okay. That's done as well. And next we're gonna stamp them. Stamp made by Hangler, of course. And that's done. After that, we straighten it in the press. After straightening it, we do the initial part of heat treatment, which is normalizing and annealing. I mean, now I'm normalizing it because now we've heated parts of them, parts of the blade more than other parts. We've stretched the certain parts. We've hit them with a hammer. It's anti-spa to be forged. So now we're sending it to the spa instead. So now they're going to normalize, all the grain structure is getting normalized, same size. After that we're going to anneal it. Spheroidized anneal, I think it's called. Just to make it a little bit softer, so we can cold forge it and straighten it and sharpen it and harden it and all the good parts. And the more you do this, I mean, you reduce the risk of them warping. Because warps are always a pain in the ass. They need to cool down slowly. I just put them in and do something else. I just don't stand around. For instance, if I only have 2 knives, I would just make the handles. I would probably be able to glue them up with the dowels and drill them and shape them and have like a rough 60 grit finish on them. And then heat treat the blades and everything, and then do the rest of the handle, finished rest of the handles. Yep, I forgot the barbecue. It actually removes oxygen from the door. Plus, you could have some badass barbecue. Good sausages, good everything. There's a lot of heat in there. There's steel in there that doesn't like to get in contact with oxygen when it's hot. So I put what's it called? Coals at the charcoals, yeah, at the edge of the oven, just to make them eat up. Because if they burn, they eat oxygen, you know. So I mean, it's not foolproof, but it's better than nothing, and it's such an easy thing to do. But it's not my science. It's and I'm not certain how much science it is, but it's such an easy step to make. So I just throw them in there, especially when you do like the annealing part, because then they're staying in there for so much longer. So it's much better. So I'm taking this out now. We're lowering the heat. And we're just gonna cool this down to black. Yeah, and that's what I mean. If I do 1 blade or 10 blades, it's like it doesn't take that much longer. What takes the longest is heating up the forge, heating up the oven, waiting for them to get hot in the oven, and anneal them. That's like the long process. So why not make 10 or 20 at the same time when that is the long part? Forging them is the quick process, very quick process. And these are just about ready. Yeah, you can just put them in a dark place and see if they have any residual glow. And you can see this is totally black. So black is good. Then they're not hot, not too hot. Below 500, I think the limit is. Just goes back in, and a lower heat now. And this oven is of course a little bit too hot, but it's gonna lower by itself now that I put in the blade. And we just leave them here for 5 minutes, and then we take them out. Same process. Let them cool down to black. And we put them in again, and then we turn off the oven and let them sit there and cool down with the oven for a while. And then we'll start the handles.
Massive thank you to all our Patreon supporters. If you enjoy the content that we do, and if you find value in the content we create, you can support our channel at patreon.com/UK Bladeshow, or links are in the description below. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to watch another similar video, check out this other one over here. Cheers guys, and see you in the next one.